In late 2012, a group of Swedish teenagers with a shared passion of music decided they want to create a song. Young Good decided to work on an instrumental for the song, while rapper Young Lean would create some lyrics. Eventually, Young Good would finish the beat, and Young Lean would record his lyrics in a manner of which they called a sound check to make sure the microphone was working. And together, they would create the song we now know as Ginseng Strip 2002. This song was an overnight sensation. In 2013, the same year this music video was released, it gained over 3 million views on YouTube. And remember, back then it was very uncommon for a YouTube video to get this many views in such a short amount of time. And this wasn't all the recognition it would receive. Fast forward to 2022, this song went astonishingly viral on TikTok. It was named the most popular TikTok song of 2022 by Billboard. But out of everything this song had to offer, there was one thing that people could not get enough of. The sample.
This is him.
The search for the sample used in the song was very intense. Everyone wanted to know where this sample came from and who sang it. So, I decided to put together what I believe is the most comprehensive and in-depth video about the roots of this sample. We will follow every step the internet made in attempts to discover this mysterious sample from start to finish. So ladies and gentlemen, grab a snack because we are about to go down the Ginseng Strip 2002 sample rabbit hole. As to where the sample came from, no answers were given for a brief period of time. But then, the first answer started to circulate. A song titled Laptop Chick by the artist Flamingosis. Now, when you first listen to the song,
2003. They're so nice, that voice. Young.
You can hear how people would think this. However, the question would then be asked, where did Flamingosis get this sample from? And it seems to me that Laptop Chick was released after Ginseng Strip, so we can definitely throw this solution out the window. At this point, the search for the sample had just begun. Nobody knew how long this search was actually gonna take, and after a long period of searching, the first clue to where this sample came from arose.
Loop 6-1.
As soon as people realized the song was not sampled from Laptop Chick, the hunt was back on. Immediately, people went back to the drawing board and scavenged through the internet to find where this loop came from. And after 8 entire years of searching the internet for this sample, everybody came up empty-handed. The sample just seemed impossible to find. I mean, 8 entire years and nothing. People were losing motivation at this point. But on the 9th year of searching, in the year 2021, and after many failed attempts to solve the mystery, Young Lean's community finally found something. I couldn't find the original Reddit post which made the discovery, but this Reddit post was made during the same time period, highlighting the same thing. The post reads, "So recently it was discovered that the sample used in Young Lean Ginseng Strip was from a loop pack called Into Infinity by Dublab. Here is the sample used by Young Good, the producer of Ginseng Strip. Dede Mouse, Loop 61. And there was the first discovery. A loop pack called Into Infinity by Dublab. Most people haven't heard of Dublab, but a quick Google search reveals that they're an internet radio station based in Los Angeles and have been involved in creating many different sound packs. So I decided to head over to their Bandcamp and check out the Into Infinity pack the Reddit user was talking about. And along with many other sound packs they've released, there it was. the Into Infinity sound pack. And this was the moment of truth. I scrolled all the way down to loop 61 and pressed play.
It's like 8 seconds. Oh.
And
That's
the
like the whole
loop had been
song.
found. The 9-year mystery has finally been solved. Or that's what a lot of people thought. After finding Loop 61, which was created by Mouse, a lot of people
Where did it
believed
come
the
from?
search was over. Even now, in 2024, it seems the majority of people believe this is where the mystery ends. I still see loads of people claiming this is the furthest back the sample goes, but that is not the case. If we go back to the Reddit post, the user explains that Mouse has sampled this audio from somewhere. And he was right. I mean, Mouse said it himself. I made a cut up of an Indonesian vocal sample. So one big question still remains. Who sang the loop? One big question
What? I made that sample of a project called Into Infinity and made a cut up of an Indonesian vocal sample. That sampling voice is not illegal.
still remains. Who sang the loop?
Interesting that
I mean, we know who put it together, but whose voice actually sang it? Sure, Mouse is the artist who found the vocals, chopped them up, and put them together to create Loop 61, but where did he get these vocals from? The 9-year search was not over. Just as the people thought the truth of the sample was fully unraveled in front of them, this turned out to be a discovery that was accompanied by more questions than answers. The pieces of the puzzle that had seemed to so neatly align now lay scattered across the floor. And as the Reddit user said, the deep dive continues.
You know that like 20-second TikTok? It's like I just looked at the site right here.
1 year later, this comment was posted on Reddit, highlighting everything we know about the sample, and more importantly, everything we still don't know. There are some interesting things highlighted in this post, including what we previously knew about Loop 61 and the Into Infinity pack, some potential languages the sample might be in. When Loop 61 was uploaded to the internet, it states that neither Young Good, the producer of Ginseng Strip 2002, or Mouse, the person who put together Loop 61, neither of them know where the sample originated from. It also has a link to an Ask Me Anything done by Young Lean 11 years ago, where people who did ask about Ginseng Strip were either ignored by Young Lean or got an unsatisfying answer from him. It highlights other methods that could be useful to finding the origins of this sample, which also demonstrates just how dedicated people were to solving this mystery. And it also highlights how the original poster of this message reached out to Mouse and got ignored. At this point, hope was running out. Young Lean, Young Good, and Mouse, none of these people knew where the loop came from. How could somebody possibly find out the origins of this sample? But the community persevered, and 1 year later, another discovery was made. On July 13th, 2022 at 8:13 p.m., a Reddit user by the name of Julian_Caesar made a post that reads, "I think I'm onto something. Potential Ginseng Strip 2002 original vocals partially found." The video linked in the post shows the original Ginseng Strip sample along with a vocal sample that sounds strikingly familiar to the original. When asked where he found the vocal sample, he stated it was in the phrases section of Omnisphere 2. And if you don't know, Omnisphere is a very popular synthesizer used in music production that has over 10,000 sounds and phrases to use for creating music. This user, Julian Caesar, just happened to stumble across the right phrase within Omnisphere and made the realization that it sounds like the Ginseng Strip sample. This was a very big turning point in the search. People who were looking for the sample were fairly certain this individual phrase from Omnisphere was used in the Ginseng strip sample. They just needed to find the rest of the original vocal loops. And with help from another Reddit user named FineEffect7355, the two knew exactly where to look. Both Julian Caesar and FineEffect realized that Omnisphere was created by a company called Spectrasonics, and it was highly plausible that the vocal phrase found in Omnisphere came from a sound pack previously released by Spectrasonics. So they looked through the sound packs, and one stood out from the rest, a sound pack called Heart of Asia. Since the Ginseng strip sample seemed to be sung in some sort of Asian language, this pack seemed to have the highest likelihood of having the original Ginseng strip vocals within it. So they looked through the pack, and just over 2 hours after posting the original Reddit post, Julian Caesar and FineEffect found the 4 original samples needed to recreate the Ginseng strip sample. While searching through the Heart of Asia pack, they came across 4 samples titled INDSNS-KRT28, INDSNS-KRT29, INDSNS-KRT30, and INDSNS-KRT31. And if you manipulate the 4 samples enough, you can create the original Ginseng strip sample.
ಅಜಾಮಿಳನು ಕರೆದರೆ ನಾರಾಯಣ
Here is the video that Julian Caesar posted just after midnight that same night, showing the recreation of the sample. And of course, the other user, FineEffect, also posted a video to Reddit highlighting their attempt to recreate the sample. As a matter of fact, these videos were actually uploaded 21 minutes apart, so it is almost certain that these 2 users found the 4 samples used for Ginseng strip, then made their recreation of the sample at basically the same time. And after these videos were uploaded, that was it. The hunt was officially over. On the night of July 13th, 2022, both Julian Caesar and FineEffect solved an almost decade-long mystery, and to this day, it seems that nobody knows that these 2 users are responsible for solving this mystery. I mean, even myself, when I was doing this research, I saw no mention of these 2 users. The only reason I came across these archived Reddit posts was because of a comment on Lost Media Wiki under a forum about the Ginseng strip sample. This comment linked to Julian Caesar's first post in which he found the first vocal sample in Omnisphere. Then, as I was reading through the comments of this post, it luckily had links to the 2 other posts made by Julian Caesar and FineEffect. But if it wasn't for this single comment made on Lost Media Wiki, I would have never known who solved this mystery. And neither would you guys. Instead, I would have just thought TrackLib solved the mystery, which a lot of people believe. But I'm here to say that this is not the case. TrackLib posted their breakdown of the Ginseng strip sample on July 30th, 2022, and both Julian Caesar and FineEffect posted the video solving the mystery July 14th, just after midnight, which is 16 days before TrackLib posted their video. Julian Caesar made a comment about TrackLib's YouTube video and said, "Just saw it on my homepage. I love Tracklib's videos, so seeing something I discovered on it is awesome. Personally, I think theirs is more accurate than this one, referring to his own video. And out of curiosity, I wanted to see if anybody on Tracklib's video mentioned Julian, so I Controlled F and searched Julian, and to my surprise, there was a comment he made saying, "Love these videos, crazy to see one of my findings on here." Buried away in the rest of the comments with only 8 likes. Honestly, I felt a little bad for Julian at this point. Without him, we most likely would have never found the original Ginseng Strip sample, and now he's commenting on a video with 1.4 million views highlighting his own discovery, while nobody gives him credit. So, although Julian Caesar seems content with Tracklib getting credit for solving this mystery, I would like to set the record straight in this video. The 2 individuals who found the original Ginseng Strip samples were Julian_Caesar and Fine-Effect7355.
The other guy's not 18, or what does that mean? Wow.
Well, there we have it. Finally, the mystery has been solved. We know everything about the Ginseng Strip 2002 loop. We know Young Good got it from the Into Infinity pack. We know it was titled Loop 61 within that pack. We know Day Day Mouse put together Loop 61. And we know he did it using 4 different samples from the Heart of Asia sound pack. We know Julian Caesar and Fine Effect found the 4 original vocal samples from the Heart of Asia sound pack, and we know who sang the loop. Wait, we don't know who sang the loop. Earlier I made it clear that one big question still remains: who sang the loop? And we have gotten no answer to that question yet. Who sang the loop? And as I looked through every corner of the internet, I finally found the answer.
Wouldn't it be credited in the Asia thing? The other one?
At first, I had no idea how to find who sang this loop. I looked through the Heart of Asia pack and went to the credits section in hopes to find a list of singers they used on the pack, but unfortunately, it was mainly just audio engineers and production staff whose names were listed in the credits. I noticed the CD said it was recorded in 2 locations, Singapore and Tibet. I made note of this as I thought it may be useful down the line. And after this, I found myself searching through an endless amount of Reddit threads, clicking on a variety of links to YouTube, SoundCloud, Facebook, and Google Drive audio files, all in hopes to find who sang the Ginseng Strip loop. And no answers arose. I was on the edge of giving up at this point. But fast forward an entire day of searching the internet, I finally found a link to a YouTube video that gave me everything I needed to finally figure this mystery out.
Indian devotional song.
As previously mentioned, Tracklib posted a YouTube video on the breakdown of the Ginseng Strip sample. Along with this, they posted an article discussing the loop and the backstory behind the song. And if you go to this article and scroll all the way down, there is one single comment made by this user. The comment reads, "Hi, I did some digging around and the sample is originally sung by, forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, M.L. Vasanthakumari, who sings an Indian devotion song called Aneyu Karadar. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I probably butchered that. The link to her performance is here, along with a YouTube link. It appears that the recorded sample is another performance. And if you click the link and listen to the video,
is close.
honestly, it doesn't sound like 100% match to the Heart of Asia samples. I decided to listen a few more times, and I started to hear some similarities between the two. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Using a slightly better quality video I found of the same artist performing the same song, it's easier to hear the similarities. To start off, let's listen to the 4 Heart of Asia samples used to create the ginseng strip loop, and let's spell out what we hear.
ಆದಿಮೂಲ ಬಂದಂತೆ ಅಜಾಮಿಳನು ಕರೆದರೆ ನಾರಾಯಣ.
So the first sample, INDSNSKRT28, sounds like Adamula, and the second one, INDSNSKRT29, sounds like Bundenti. The third sample, INDSNSKRT30, sounds like Ajamila Nukaredere, and the fourth sample, INDSNSKRT31, sounds like Nadayena. Now, if we listen to the video at 30 seconds, let's try and hear which of the 4 samples we are playing.
ಅಜಾಮಿಳನು ಕರೆದರೆ ನಾರಾಯಣ ಬಂದಂತೆ.
What is the translation?
ಅಜಾಮಿಳನು ಕರೆದರೆ ನಾರಾಯಣ ಬಂದಂತೆ.
I don't know.
So now we can clearly hear that the 4 samples from the Heart of Asia pack used for the ginseng strip sample and this song are saying the same things. It's not 100% identical because, as the original comment says, the recorded sample was a different performance. But we now know what song these 4 samples are singing. We have found the actual song that the ginseng strip sample came from. And if you go back to the title of the video, this is the artist singing the song. And this is the title of the song.
Oh, we need to look at the title of the song.
Now, as much as I wanted to claim victory at this point and tell the world MLV was the artist who sang the loop, there was just one issue. Purandara Dasa. Now, at first, I had no idea what this meant, but I decided I wanted to know everything about the title of this YouTube video, so I copy and pasted Purandara Dasa into Google, and this came up. Purandara Dasa, who was born in 1484 and died in 1564, was a singer and composer from the state of India called Karnataka. So it was now clear to me that Purandara Dasa composed this song and MLV was just covering it.
A meme now?
And if you don't know why this is an issue, it's because other artists have covered this song as well. So figuring out which artist sang the loops from the Heart of Asia pack just got much more difficult.
Because it's like, oh, Happy Birthday made this song, but that's like, who sang the Happy Birthday?
So I thought of a plan. I would search online for all the artists who covered this song, compile them together, then see which artist's voice most correctly matches the sample used on the Heart of Asia pack. And after searching through different covers of the song and eliminating artists that were obviously not the singer of the ginseng strip loop, like male singers, I narrowed it down to 3 different artists: MLV, Nandina Rao Gujar, and Archana M. Doing further research on these 3 artists, I realized Archana M is not very well known, so it's unlikely Spectrasonics featured her on the sample pack. And her tone of voice just doesn't match the sample, so definitely not her. But the other 2 artists, MLV and Nandini, are both decently popular and definitely could have been featured on the Heart of Asia pack. I just had to figure out which one. So at this point, all I could do was go by tone of voice. Which artist's voice matched the samples from the Heart of Asia pack? Well, let's take a listen.
Lock in. Use your ears.
ಆದಿಮೂಲ
Sample.
ಬಂದಂತೆ ಅಜಾಮಿಳನು ಕರೆದರೆ ನಾರಾಯಣ ಆನೆಯು ಕರೆದರೆ ಆದಿಮೂಲ ಬಂದಂತೆ ಆದಿಮೂಲ ಬಂದಂತೆ ಆನೆಯು
I might have to
ಕರೆದರೆ
go with, I don't know.
ಆದಿಮೂಲ ಬಂದಂತೆ
It honestly
MLV.
doesn't seem too clear.
Like either.
Well,
one.
let me tell you guys what I think. If we listen to the 4 Heart of Asia samples, you can hear how it sounds a little nasally, especially in the 30 and 31 samples.
ಆದಿಮೂಲ ಬಂದಂತೆ ಅಜಾಮಿಳನು ಕರೆದರೆ ನಾರಾಯಣ.
And listening to Nandini, she doesn't really seem to have that same nasally voice.
ಆದಿಮೂಲ ಬಂದಂತೆ ಆದಿಮೂಲ ಬಂದಂತೆ.
And if we listen to MLV, I definitely think I hear it more.
ಅಜಾಮಿಳನು ಕರೆದರೆ ಅಜಾಮಿಳನು
I do. I think it's,
ಕರೆದರೆ.
And along with this, MLV is definitely a more popular artist that I could see Spectrasonics using on the Heart of Asia sample pack.
That is
And
cool.
there we have it. Finally, the last piece of the puzzle has been
I like how we
found.
had it,
The
but then it's like it
decade-long
wasn't for
mystery
sure.
has
singer.
completely been solved. We know who sang the loop. But I wanted to find out just one more thing. After discovering so much history about this loop, I decided to go balls to the wall and try to figure out what the loop is saying in English. Here are the lyrics to the song in the language Kannada, and don't ask how, but I found a Google Groups conversation from 1994 which talks about MLV and her musical talent. I did some copy and pasting and eventually found myself on this website. I will link it in the description of this video, and it's a direct translation of the song used in the Ginseng strip sample from Kannada to English. Here we see all the samples spelled out in front of us. We see Adamula, which is sample 28, Bundanti, which is sample 29, Ajamilanu Karader, which is sample 30, I'm not pronouncing this right by the way, and Narayana, which is sample 31. All the samples together are one phrase in the language of Kannada, which translates to, like the primeval god coming when an elephant called, like the god Narayana calling when Ajamila called.
Thanks, no god there.
Wow, we really went
We
down
did
the
it,
rabbit
though.
hole. From
I like
Laptop
that.
Chick to Loop 61 to the Heart of
It's
Asia
like a
sound pack
full-on-
to MLV, this sample has an extremely in-depth history. I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, why? Why did all these people want to find the history of the loop? Why did you make this video about this mysterious loop? Does it really matter? And yes, it does matter. You see, this sample gave rise to Young Lean. Without it, we don't really know if Young Lean would be nearly as popular as he is today. This song put him on the map, and today, Young Lean's influence is massive. From all of Sad Boys and Drain Gang, to Lil Peep, XXXTentacion, Charlie XCX, Future, Lil Uzi Vert, Travis Scott, PewDiePie, Frank Ocean, Bones, Sick Boy Rari, and the biggest TikTok trend of 2022, and much, much more. Young Lean has no doubt changed mainstream music. And without this sample, Young Lean may have never even happened. So, yes, this sample does matter. And in late 2012, when a group of Swedish teens decided to record a song in a way they called a sound check to make sure the microphone was working, They created one of the most influential songs in hip-hop, accompanied by a mysterious sample that would take nearly a decade to solve.
This is loud. I like this.